Hey guys, what's up everybody? So this will be the final game I want to show. Um, so I've shown 4 games that I played last week in 2 tournaments. So one is National Youth Chess Championship, another one is National Interstate Chess Championship. So this is the last round of this is the final round of Interstate Chess Championship, and also this is my only loss in this tournament, right? Interstate Chess Championship, right? So let's see. So I'm taking the white pieces and I start the game with e4. c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, cd4, knight d4, g6. I go to my opponent go to accelerated dragon. I play the Morozov line, and this is off theory. Castles takes c6, a5, b3. Yeah, okay. I'll give you some ideas for those who don't play this opening. Okay. I mean, this is still normal. Okay, queen d2. So knight takes d4 because black have less space. So usually, if you have less space, you want to trade more pieces. If you have more space, you want to keep more pieces, right? That's like, I mean, that's a theory in chess, right? So there's another line which is knight c2, but this give black some some move like bishop e6, rook c8, knight e5, and try and attack, and also trying to expand on queen side with a6, b5. So the main line goes like queen to d2. Black will trade and play bishop to c6, attack this pawn. We go f3, and there's two moves here, knight d7 or a5, and this two move will transpose to the same move for sure. He played a5 first to go a4, take some space on the queen side, and then queen a5. And he activated his queen, the rook, and black have a good position. Right, so b3. If a4, then we go b4. Right, we take space. So usually they would play knight to d7 to offer a trade of this bishop, because all of white pawn is on the light square. So if white trade this bishop, black will be extremely happy. And also, do you remember what I said just now? Black have less space. Black has less space. If he can trade more pieces, black's doing well. So if you play something like rook c1 or rook d1, let's say, black would trade and play queen to b6, and yeah, he even can trade the queen, and then this will be a good endgame for black pieces. Of course, it's not winning or something; it's still equal, but white white want to play bishop to e3 to prevent the trade. Knight to c5. And we go rook to b1. So the idea of rook to b1 is we're trying to play a3, b4. We're trying to kick black pieces away and trying to take more space. So usually the idea of this opening is rook b1, and after queen b6, which is the main line, then rook c1, and after that something like a3, trying to play b4, and then or king h1. Okay, king h1 is the move that I mean, you can play it. If you don't want, it's still fine. The main idea is bishop f1, I think, and then g3, bishop g2, is it? Yeah, okay, maybe, like, yeah, g3, bishop g2, and f4. So white is very flexible. He can attack on the queen side with a3, b4. He can also attack on the king side with f4 and f5 something. And then after that, he will bring the rook back. After like he kick black pieces away, he'll bring the rook back to f1 and e1, I believe, and start to attack black king. I mean, okay, I don't want to talk too much about the opening. You can go learn the opening yourself. I mean, yeah, to be honest, I didn't really understand too much about this opening. I just know the line. I mean, yeah, so queen b4 is a trick move in this position. The main line is rook to c8. Okay, I'll still tell you something. So the idea of black pieces is rook to c8. So I'll give you the move, rook c8. And okay, maybe I'll open up the database. So rook to c2 is a very useful move to prevent queen b4. I'll tell you later. Queen d8 is the main move, bishop f1, and h5. So the idea is to go king h7. Okay, they'll go b4, takes knight a4, and okay, knight e2, trying to prevent trading pieces. Like I say, you have more space, you want to prevent trading pieces, and queen f8. So that's the whole idea of this Marzipan as black. So why you black play all this? So first, he activate the rook and play the queen back. And then you go h5. The idea is to go h5, king h7, and then queen f8. And the idea is trying to trade the bishop anyway. So black want to do this, you know. And after he trade, and black will have a good endgame. Of course, it's still equal, but black will be good, you know. So usually white pieces is trying to play for a win. They will defend the e2 pawn with something like g3, g2, and after this happens, they will play f4. So that's the whole idea of this opening, right? So this is the idea for black pieces. You know, queen d8, queen f8, king h7, bishop h6, trying to trade the bishop, right? However, my opponent played queen b4, which is a trick move. I go rook to c2. So the idea of queen b4 is he wants to play a4, right? Because a4 in this position, I can play b4. So queen a4, now you want to play a4. If he can trade the pawn here, and b4 becomes a weak square, and b3 become a weakness, and suddenly black got a file, an open file, and like he can follow by, for example, a4. Okay, I'll give it. Okay, let's say white make a passing move, and then takes. He can play rook a3, rook a8. Look at this bishop. Look at this knight. Black is doing extremely well. So that's why we play rook to c2 here. If you go a4, your queen is undefended. You can play knight d5, knight takes e7, and we just win a pawn. King h8, rook takes d2. So after rook fca, which is the main move, we go rook c2 first instead of a3, bishop f1. Okay, a3 is a mistake because of knight takes b3. Let's say bishop f1. Okay, king h1 something. Now black will play queen b4, I guess. Yeah, because knight d5 doesn't work. Because after, okay, I'll just tell you the move. I'll not show it. Let's say you go king h1, queen b4. Now let's say you go rook c2, a4. Knight d5 takes. Now knight takes e7 doesn't work because king f8 attack your knight. You have to take my queen, otherwise you're gonna lose the queen. So you take, I will win your knight. So now a4 works. So that's why rook to c2 have to be played here. If queen to b4, then queen to c1 is the move here because we want to go a3 and b4, right? So that's the idea. My opponent played this trick move with queen to b4. Okay, I say okay. I go rook to c2. You can't play a4. Now, I expect my opponent will play the move rook to c8, which is the main move, like I said, right? Like what I said just now. But my opponent played a mysterious rook move. Rook to d8. Then I'm like, what? What is this? What are you trying to achieve? e65? Like that doesn't seem right. Like, what are you trying to achieve? Rook d7, rook d8? I don't know what is black's idea, you know. So I decided to just follow my plan with queen c1, queen b6, a3, trying to play b4 because of this pin. So you have to play queen to c7. You have to unpin yourself. And in this position, I make a mistake with b4. So usually, black would not open up the queen side too fast. The idea of this opening. I actually forgot the opening, the line. So the idea of white pieces is actually to attack on the king side because black have more pieces on the queen side. So it's good to attack on the king side. So usually the line is not b4 actually. Yeah. But by the way, b4 is the second best move. So I'm like, I'm really like what? So the best move is knight to d5. After takes a4. So we totally prevent all the play, all the black counterplay on the queen side. I mean that's black one in this opening, right? Rook c8, bishop c4, and black got an extremely good position. And then okay, let's say black do this, but it's too slow. I mean, it's too slow. Now we can play g4, prevent h5, and then f4, and trying to attack. And then we'll bring the rook back to the king side. Black can't do it, unfortunately. So what? It's actually better. But so my planning is not great. I decided to play a b4. So this is not a good plan. You know, engine laughed at me. Knight a4 was played, and now I play knight d5. So because I thought like all of my pieces already is in a good place. They are aiming on the queen side. So I'm like, why don't I just open up the queen side? And I play knight d5, bishop takes d5, c takes d5. Just completely open up my rooks and my queen. Because my opponent didn't play rook c8, I can do this. I'm like followed by b takes a5. I'm really in a good position. Now my opponent have to find the only move, which he find, which is knight to c3. Otherwise, let's say queen d7, queen here, I can take or play rook c7. This is a really good position. So after the game, my opponent told me that e takes d5. The move that concerned him is e takes d5, followed by c5. But I thought, like, why, like the whole idea is to open out the queen side. Why am I playing this? I know there's a weakness on e7 because you can't push. But I mean, usually this is not a big problem for black pieces in the Sicilian Dragon because you can always defend it. Like c5 is not a threat because takes he can play my d5 pawn will be weak. But okay, this is a decent move of course, right? But I play c takes d5, knight to c3. I play b takes a5. I think bishop d3 would be better. After rook b3 is a huge threat. After my opponent go defend it, rook to c8, I can take on a5. And I'm thinking that my opponent will like trying to unpin and defend the knight, but rook b3 wins the game. Right, because the knight is trapped. So I saw this move a4, which stopped rook b3, but I have the move queen e1, which I missed. Just ridiculous. Like this is a very simple move, and I missed it. And then rook c1, just completely winning. By the way, you guys, there's a tricks I think. Like after rook c8. Yeah, I will play b takes a5 first. Rook b3 fails to knight e2, I think, and now black's winning. Yeah, this is just some little tricks. If I take the with the rook, my queen is hanging. Bishop takes, rook takes. If I take with the bishop, my rook is hanging. Yeah, so I will play takes first, and then if my opponent didn't move the queen, okay, I'll move my king first, and then rook b3. So I thought I'm just winning. Like after b4, I already calculate all this, and I thought I'm just winning because I thought I can win this knight, and not win this knight. I can like take this knight. Like I can take the knight and bishop for a rook, which is good in chess. I mean, like everyone knows this. Two minor pieces is better than a rook, right? Right. In the game, I played b takes a5 because I was worried about a4, so that's why I take first. But like I say, a4, I have queen e1. I think I still have a good position. If my opponent play knight takes e2, I thought I have a good endgame. You can't take the pawn because of bishop b6. Actually, you can take the pawn because bishop b6, queen a6. So probably this gives blacks a very good drawing chances, but opponent didn't see it, and if the same thing happened, okay, then I'll go bishop d3. This is what happened in the game, by the way. Right, so, and also there's a weak pawn on d7, so I think I'm good. So I play b takes a5, which is okay, And after this, I go bishop b3. My opponent take on a5, like, and I play rook b3, and I'm like, what? I can just win this knight for sure because it's pinned. The queen can't move because you have to defend this. Only 2 square. You can only defend the knight in c7 on a5. So my next move will be bishop b6. And like, how do you defend this? How do you defend this? You can see the evaluation bar here. The ending give is draw. My opponent play queen a4. Then I'm like, okay, I win. I win for sure. Bishop takes, queen takes. But after queen takes a3, I'm like, wait a second. Is this really good for white? Because my opponent have a rook pawn for 2 minor pieces, but my opponent have a pass pawn. That's what you want when you have a rook, right? You wanna have some pass pawn, and you get the best chance to win. Even if my opponent, even if I trade the queen, trade the pawn, somehow I take this pawn, the pawn is on the same side. So I think it's still a draw. Actually, I don't know what the engine will say, but I think it will be a draw because the pawn is on the same side, and it's hard to win. So, but in this position, like I thought I'm playing all precise move, all great move, and suddenly I get a uncomfortable position. So I'm really in devastating mood in this position, after queen takes h3. So probably one small mistake can cause a very big like big problem, So yeah, I, yeah, I'm not a grandmaster, I like wow, I'm like wow when I saw all this happen, I'm like wow. So 95 apparently is the good move, is the best move, and then like what I say just now, we attack on the king side. So I mean, it's still fine. It's good to learn. Next time I will know attack on the king side will be a better strategy because it's hard for black to defend on the king side. Yeah, and it's easy for me to kind of maneuver my pieces to the king side. Play b4. And open up the queen side is what black wants usually. So yeah. Yeah, and after this I do go back to my hotel and check the opening preparation that I've make. Yeah, and actually this is not the right strategy. Right, my opening repertoire just say that it's better to attack on the king side with f4 something, not the exact same position here because the line is rook c8, and then after some move, the strategy is to attack on the king side. Yeah, like I said, it's because all of my opponent pieces is on the queen side, so it will be good. It will be better to attack on the king side. Yeah, and this happened, and actually it's still a draw. It's still a draw. I play queen to c2. Because I can't take because it will be a skewer. I play queen to c2. My opponent played b5, trying to push the passer, simply push the passer. And now I have to find the move h3, and then king h2, and my king will be safe. But again, I mean, I'm in time trouble. I just want to take this pawn, but I can't because of this bishop. So I'm only thinking about where should I move this bishop. Bishop f2, bishop d4, bishop c1, or bishop here. Like bishop d2, I think it would be a... Sorry, bishop c1 would be a mistake because queen c5 check. Takes, and he would have 2 connected passer. If I take on b5, rook b8 followed by rook b1 would be winning. Oh, no, sorry. Just rook a1 right away. Yeah. So I thought I have to keep on this diagonal. Actually, I'm a bit afraid of this pass pawn. which engine doesn't afraid at all. But I'm a human, you know. I'm a human. I have emotion. Yeah, so it's a bit nervous when opponent have a pass pawn. Like the pawn is just 4 square to go to promote from being the queen. Yeah, and the engine say just um like king safety first, and then the pawn would you can defend the pawn. Yeah. I play bishop d4, queen b4 was played. So I go back, bishop f2, rook this a1. I have to go bishop f1 and now queen c4. So now you can see my king is in a very bad situation. My king is pinned, is being attacked, so that's why I should have just um yeah, play h3 and king h2 and king safety first. My opponent falls a queen trade and create a passer. In this position, I find all the correct defense except for the last move. So bishop d4, the only move to survive the game. Rook d1, bishop c3, the only move, rook c1, bishop d2, again the only move, rook c2, and now I didn't find the move. So there's 3 moves. Bishop f4, bishop h6, and bishop g5 and bishop h6. It's the 3 move to survive. The idea is to keep an eye on the c1 square, and because that's the promote square of black pawn. I play bishop to e3, which is a blunder because after here I go bishop d3, and I try to because opponent want to play c2 and check and c1 queen, so I play h3, c2 and king h2. But now my opponent has rook a3, and I lose. I lose the exchange. It's a skewer. I have to sacrifice the bishop, and I'm losing the exchange. And this is not a draw, unfortunately. There's a way to break through white position and win the game. So that's why bishop e3 is a blunder. You have to go somewhere else. So let's say bishop f4, and if the same thing happened, there's no skewer. And this is defended. You can't play rook a1 because your pawn will be hanging. So maybe white is still holding. I make a blunder, and after this, my opponent find a way to win, which is e6. Just trying to make a pawn break. I defend it. My opponent play king e5. I have no move basically. I can just the only thing I can do is just waiting. Bishop b5 and now rook d2. That's the way to win. If I go bishop to c6, my opponent will take. Let's say e takes d5 or bishop takes d5. My opponent will sacrifice the rook, and my opponent is up a pawn in this king and pawn endgame, and it's just completely winning. You can just push the passer, and it's just completely winning. So I take the pawn, but now the pawn is no more symmetrical, and my opponent can create a passer. So that's the way to win this endgame. And yeah, so after this is just some devastating move, and in this position I resign. So this is more like a high level game. So if you look at my last 2 game, like my last 2 video, the way I lose is like I make a mistake, I fail to understand the position, like just one move mistake, you know. But this is like it's not like a one move mistake. It's like a wrong plan cause a bad and unpleasant position, which is the move b4. Yeah, the wrong plan. Like the funny thing is, I still think I am winning in this position after queen takes a3. I mean, in the game lah. In the game, I think I'm playing all the correct move after queen takes a3. Then I'm like, what? Like, how can all this happen? I'm having a good position, and suddenly I get a position which is like a position I need to defend, and I'm not winning. Even I win the pawn. I'm like, what? Yeah. So next time I know I mean it again. It's a good lesson to formulate a plan in chess. Like when opponent, like you can see um where your opponent pieces and decide which side you want to attack. It's in this position because I have more space. So I'm quite flexible. I can attack on the queen side or on the king side. My opponent has less space. He can't. The only thing, like I mean, this opening for black, the only way is just to attack on the try to expand on the queen side. So I'm just helping black pieces. Yeah. So again, it's a good lesson. Yeah. So I should have to attack on the king side because black have less space. It's not easy to transfer rook to defense. However, meanwhile, white pieces can easily bring all his pieces into the attack. Yeah, so like what a game! Like it's unbelievable. I lose this game. Like I thought I'm playing all the right move, but okay. I mean, this is actually still a draw. So it's like what Gotham Chess said. Okay, Larry Rossman said QU was not the first mistake. It's the second mistake. I mean, this is just very true. QME was not the first mistake, which is B4. I consider this a mistake lah, okay? Not an inaccuracy. Because it's a wrong plan. Wrong plan. Yeah, I find a wrong plan. Yeah, it was a second mistake, which is bishop d4 or bishop e3. Yeah, bishop e3. So I failed to defend this endgame. So maybe this was not the main problem. Yeah, maybe this was not the main problem. The main reason I lost this game is because I failed to defend this passport. So maybe I need to improve my planning skill, like how to formulate a correct chess plan, the best chess plan, and also how to defend in an end game or in a middle game something, because like my defending skill is really bad. Yeah, so I will be working harder, and then try next time. So do better. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.